Hello everybody, we are talking to Pushpendra Bansal, who is COO of Lords Hotels Pvt Ltd. How are you, sir?
Namaskar. I'm fine, and how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Okay, we will start with the questions.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. So take us to the journey of your growth.
My journey is little different than other hoteliers. I am a civil engineer and was doing construction work, and then it's all started. I became a default hotelier because one of my friend borrowed a money in 1990 and didn't pay me back. Instead, he gave me the shares of the hotel, which was under construction. Then I had to face in 1992 Babri Masjid, and Babri Masjid riots happened, and there was 138 days of curfew in Surat. Surat was at that time very sensitive area. And then after that, I faced 1993 floods. After floods, there was a plague, if you know, in 1994, and whole city of Surat was abandoned. And we got more debts due to interest leaping. We had taken borrowed money from PFCI, and they didn't waive off the interest. So there was a conflict in the partners. And when we met, we were thinking who will pay the debts. So ultimately, I was the scapegoat, and I took the maximum thing, and I became the owner of this property. When I became the owner, it was having only 47 rooms, and this decision happened in 1996. Somehow, I stopped my construction and finished this job and became a complete hotelier with 47 rooms. I took a franchise of Carlson Group of Hotels with under the name of Parkin, and it was operated by Sarovar at that time. Again, because it was 47 rooms, it were less rooms, so the profit of margin was not there. So I started making more rooms. But in 2001, there was a massive earthquake in Kutch, where I was born. And we had a small property which my brother was seeing, and it collapsed, 55 rooms. So I told, let me do something, give back to the public and people. So I did charity along with Vinod Khanna, who is no more. He became one of the best friends. There where I realized that people don't want the material like shelter or food or medicine. They want money. So little bit of turmoil was there. And at that time, our Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Bhai Modi, became the Chief Minister of that state, and then he took the seat from Kesubhai Patel. Then I thought this all turmoil is there, let me go to America, because I had two young daughters and I was going from pillar to post and one city to other city. So the education was the concern. So I left India and settled myself in America. In America, I used to manage Howard Johnson, Best Western, Comfort Inn, and finally Holiday Inn. But again, there was a recession in 2007. It started. So 2008, we conceived an idea of making franchise. And when I took the franchise, I had to go pillar and post, and the people, the executives were not available. So I told, let me give back to my countrymen. So it should be having international standard, but Indian Tarka. Indian Tarka is that there are many persons whose land has got good values and they want to become a hotelier, but they are not literate. So I help those, and today I'm operating 42 hotels and 15 are in the pipeline, which is signed and due to open in a year's time. So that is my growth story.
Very nice.
Having confidence in the people.
Very interesting story.
Thank you.
Okay, so what are the highlights of your business?
The highlight is when I started this chain, my mission was to deliver top-class stay experience, to turn the mundane stay in extraordinary wow experience. Like they were not staying; they were staying in guest house or dharamshalas and all, and in lower second, 2-tier, 3-tier, 4-tier cities. So I wanted to give them a good experience, a rich experience, top-class experience in the smaller city. That was my highlight. And while open to variety of culture, influence, and enhance the service industry, we cater to religious, leisure, travel places. And we have 4 type of verticals, which is the top is Lord Resort, which is green, should have at least 3 acres of land minimum, though I have more lands and I'll explain you later. And then Lord Plaza, which should have more than 60 rooms, swimming pool, central AC plants, and this thing. Then there is Lord Inn, which is typical 3-star, and Lord Echo Inn, which is economical plus echo, keeping care of the echo and this atmosphere. Plus, we are now opening a view hotel, which is where we'll be taking even smaller hotels, having 20 rooms, 30 rooms, and it will be like stay comfy. Like we'll be having all the things, but the comforts will be less, and it will have less what we call more facilities, but less ARR. You know, the rooms rate will be less. It's something like if you say Ginger,
Right.
something like Ginger, which we are trying to open it. First, we have identified in Bangalore, in Jayanagar. So we'll convert that, and then we have got in Sumerpur, Rajasthan also one, which we are doing the hotel. So the progress is good. Then we also serve good F&B, so much so that if a guest wants something particular, we go little a mile ahead and cook, say, instead of tandoori roti, they want a fulka, we provide them that fulka also. Or if you want a dal chawal in the midnight, we do that also. It's 24 hours. Other highlight is we have one of the very good resort, club cum resort, which is known as Arya Lodge Club and Resort in Rajkot on Kalawat Road. And it is designed by one of the top architect of Gujarat. And what he has taken is, he has taken 7 pyramids. He got inspiration from Paris, the Louvre things, and he has done is very good. The USP of that pyramid is the pyramids are having multiple hundreds of glasses, but each glass can fit in any of the thing. It's like a puzzle, that anything fits anywhere. So that is the best part of it. It has the longest swimming pool, 500 running feet, and gondola runs. He runs a gondola in that swimming pool also. And it's really a very, very good location, and I will say it's one of the best resort club of Gujarat state, at least, because I have not been to whole India, but I've been to Gujarat, so it's one of the best. Then we have a property in Nathdwara, which is a palatial look, which is again a Krishna Bhumi. It's a government palace, which is there we are operating it. Then we have in Karjat 22 acres of resort, which is coming up very good, and it has more than 100 rooms. Again, we have a resort in Bhavnagar, which is more than 6 acres, and it is on Buddel Road in Bhavnagar. So these are all highlights of my business and my properties, which I manage.
Fabulous. So, what are your expansion plans now?
Expansion is a continuous process, and we at Lord always explore new territories to expand our growth in hospitality industry. And in coming years, we are looking forward to present interesting destination for our guests. We will be further consolidating our presence in Rajasthan. We are having a gateway northeast in Siliguri, then Gangtok, and Itanagar in Arunachal Pradesh. So Siliguri and Gangtok are already signed, and the construction is on, and maybe before December we'll open Gangtok, and next year we'll open Siliguri. Itanagar talks are going on. We are on the table, and I think by next month we'll be finalizing it. So in next year, I see that next 3 years, not next year, I'm sorry, but next 3 years I see my figure reaching to about 100.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's a great news. So what are the challenges which you are facing?
The challenges are always changing, but right now after the COVID, I find the challenge of hiring the trained and educated staff and retaining them. That is the biggest challenge that I'm facing now. Then meeting the needs of the modern guests. The needs are changing. We try to do what they suggest us, and when they come next time, there is a different demand from them. Then zero assistance from for infrastructure development from government body. Like I would like that if some place is coming up, so they should develop the roads, they should develop airports, they should develop midways, they should give power, they should give water, and one window clearance. So that is a challenge in India. Recently, I was in Vietnam and I had been to Hanoi, Halong Bay, and let me tell you, there's a communist country, but it is nothing less than a Europe or a America. The roads were immaculate, the midways were immaculate, the people were so nice, though being communist, helping to the tourists. So that kind of things I'm seeing the challenge in India, because in India, yes, they declare that we'll do this, we'll do that. Fortunately, we have a good PM, so hopefully he will develop things like he has developed in Unity of Statue of Unity.
Yeah.
I've been there, and that is what the development should be. The even train station is there in that area. So simultaneously, they don't start. Say, I was in a meeting like 10 years before in Bangalore, where Chief Minister was there, and I did a question that when you were developing the airport, you know that road has to be developed. Why didn't you develop at the same time, parallelly? So there may be hitches, I don't know, because I'm not an administrative guy, but in the government, this kind of things are not found in foreign countries. Like in Hong Kong also, when Hong Kong airport was shifted to new, the train station, the roads were started simultaneously on the same day when the new airport was launched. So I'm lacking that. Then favorable policies, we are still not considered pan-India as an industry, auto industry. The rules and regulation changes. Sometimes they consider us commercial, sometimes they consider us differently, So we have to change, we have to pay more fees or more this thing. It can be controlled. If you want a development, you should do some favorite things which such like taxes can be reduced, or state taxes can be reduced on the electricity, or stamp duties, and more land should be taken out on the lease. I'm not saying they should give us free. We don't want free. We know that there are no free lunches or anything, but they could give us, they could consider for the development economical rate lease went for longer time, because the states to state, the policies are different. Some states are doing for 30 years, some are doing for 60 years, but they should see the ROI, because the investment we make are crores of rupees. So that is missing. Then again, there is a challenge of continuous changing consumer demands and the market. After the COVID, the demand has gone to the leisure destination, to forest, to hills. So there is a change of demand by the guest. Then yes, the rising of the operational cost. Everything is increasing, inflation. Then driving the direct business, and also lagging the advancement in technology. So that is again a challenge. Yeah.
What are your views on the industry?
The industry is good and will definitely bounce back, because public is indulging and taking the revenge tourism. They were sitting 2 years in the home, so it is a revengeful tourism which is profitable to the industry, and I see the growth with leaps and bounds in future years coming.
Okay. And how do you look at competition now?
Competition, I would say competition is always healthy. The more the competition, more the business, because everyone is doing the feasibility. They are seeing that the demand is there. So if some other hotel is coming, I take it positively. That means he has done his homework, and that's why he's coming next to me or near to me or area in me. So that is good thing. Plus, we learn from competition, and yes, we think that sometimes we think that we are doing best, but when the competitor comes and he shows us the different ways, it's a positive sign and positive learning. So I feel competition is always good.
Right. How do you foresee the future?
The future with phenomenal growth. I think the future is having a phenomenal growth, and wish to make Lord Brand one of the largest mid-segment hotels with more than 100 hotels in span of 5 years, and grow in nearby countries like Nepal, then Bhutan, Bangladesh, Vietnam, Africa, Uganda. The talks are going on. So I see my future as a bright future.
Very nice. Okay. Can you tell us highlights of your team?
The highlight of my team is we have a very good leader whose name is Rakesh Mathur. He is ex IHG and ITC, and he's principal advisor and director of a company, and he leads our operation. Then Ms. Sangeeta Bansal, she is MPhil and she has cleared the IS. She also looks after the operation. Then we have a Vikas Puri who looks after the Northern India. We have Pradeep Jain who looks after the complete finance of our company, and I myself look at for the development. Today, whatever I am because of my team, and my team is my strength, and I've got a professional team. That is my team.
So, any message for the investors?
Yes, definitely. I would request all the investors to have patience after making the investment, which I don't see. Because I can assure them that if they are patient, they will grow in leap and bounds in time. And as there is a saying, Rome was not built in a day. So similar way, the ROIs will not happen quickly, but it will happen. I can foresee it. I say to all the investors that they should invest for ROIs, not for egos. So there is no return on egos, or it is zero return on egos. But I always say that this mixed segment chain will grow, because I think what the numbers of hotels we have today in India has to be tripled or maybe 4 times in mid segment. That growth is still pending, and that's what is required in India. So please invest, and if they don't find anyone, I am there. Loss is always there.
Okay.
So I thank you for giving me a patient hearing. Namaskar.
Our best wishes with you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.